So I will go ahead and just start with range of motion on him through his neck and his limbs and his tail back there. So go ahead and start with his hands and knees. TMJs are good on both sides, functioning. There is even distancing on either side here. He is current on his teeth, but we'll just go ahead and make sure he's not. No stress points here. Vertebrae wise, that feels really good. He definitely is blinking a little here and showing me maybe some stress points here. I'll go ahead and go to the other side and check the other side of the neck. If you just want to walk around the side again. His vertebrae still even. He's definitely up here at the wing of Atlas. Some pull area there. He's definitely got stress points on either side. So this whole area actually feels really good. He normally has, he is a horse that when his poll is out and sore, he does lose that peripheral vision, and he is quite spooky to walk out and catch. So normally when he starts behaving that way, I have an idea that his poll is most likely out. So I'm going to go ahead and check range of motion here. His knee has good range of motion, and it feels good there. So scapula feels good, knee, fetlock, elbow, all of which felt good here. So go ahead and move to the back here.
Sonny, get out. Get out.
Stifle feels good. I don't feel anything locking up. I don't feel any heat here anywhere. Fetlock feels good. He's just barefoot right now, So we just pulled his shoes for the winter. We normally only shoe him in the front end. He seems to do better with no shoes on the back end. When we do put shoes on him on the back end, he starts getting really sore in his hocks and up into his stifle area. So we've just learned over the years of competition with him, he does a lot better with just shoes on the front and bare on the back. So go ahead. He does have a history of hock injury. I don't know when or how, but as far as x-rays go, he is 50% fused in this hind left hock. So he's doing really well on it, but it's definitely a weakness and a soreness for him. Ideally, we would like to see it just go ahead and fuse all the way through, but according to x-rays a month ago, it's only 50%. So we've always kind of battled hock issues with this horse. The range of motion's good there, which I like to see, where he's definitely struggled with some of that in the past. So he's got no heat, there's no swelling in these hocks. I don't feel any built up fluid in that joint. He is a little bit, he does apply more weight to the outside of his leg and hoof than he does like a balanced standing square. So more of the weight is applied to the outside of his hoofs. And he's just always been like that. Conformation wise, he's not perfect. He is narrow base and toed out. So he's just kind of, as long as we keep him trimmed, square, and balanced, he normally does pretty good. But if he's got an unbalanced foot, it'll cripple him. So that's one thing that we've learned with him over the years. Go ahead and check this. Good boy. That lock feels good. Range of motion in the knee feels good. His elbow feels really good. There's no heat or swelling down through his legs, so that all feels good there. But he definitely has some soreness, so go ahead and square him up here and kind of go over him, make sure he's balanced. Good boy. So his right scapula is definitely more formed and quite a bit larger than his left. He definitely has more of a protruding muscle on that side. And as far as his pelvis goes, due to hock issues here, he always drops his left side more so than the right. Especially at a trot, you can notice it it's most noticeable. So muscle-wise, he looks pretty good. He's pretty balanced and squared off here. So over his tail, really easy to move, lots of movement. Doesn't seem to be bothering him any at all. So he's definitely got a lot of range of motion there in his tail. So So he is very balanced there for the way that he carries himself, short stepping in that hind left. So I'll go ahead and go over him and check him for stress points, and see what we have going there. So when I get palpate up here, his wing of Atlas, C1, he really enjoys massage work up through here. So, but he definitely, like, he's got a spot here. Rectus capitis, still a little spot there. His wing of Atlas though, and down. Vertebrae wise, he feels really good. Muscle wise, he's definitely got stress point here. His output feels good, but he's definitely letting me know that he's got just some tightness through there. And I do like to do the effleurage strokes as I'm palpating, so. Linus, he's got a little soreness there. He doesn't love that. I don't feel a huge solid stress point, but he definitely is telling me he's a little sore right there. Trapezius and rhomboid. This is a area for this horse that gets very tight. He definitely is bigger on the right side, which he is using more over here, which is probably taking the load and taking the weight off of this hind left of his. So his front end is definitely taking more of the load than it should be. Omnoid on this horse is always sore, seems to just bother him. But since I've been working on him, much better. I would say 75% better than the first time I worked on him. So I like how that feels. Humerus. He is tense up through this trapezius. Fascia feels good through here. He definitely, dehydration, he's getting enough to drink.
Well, get out.
He feels really good up through here. I'm not feeling anything that's longissimus. He is also wet because it's snowing, but I know it's not ideal to work on one when they're wet. But unfortunately, it's been snowing for weeks, so I thought I'd better just get out there and get it done. Latissimus feels good. He's not showing me anything there. His triceps feel really good. deltoid. So his left shoulder feels really good. It's his right shoulder that's got me more concerned. Go ahead and go down over his pecs, superficial, and his deep. Extensor feels really good. Pectoral, I'm not, weeks ago, probably a month ago when I was working on him, a lot of soreness down through these pecs in this omnoid and just deltoid, all of this region. So he has definitely responded well to the massaging and the stretching. So check his ribs. A little bit here. A little bit of movement there when he's having a little stress spot there. He does feel a little tight. Next muscle here. Obliques and deep pecs. He's got a little area there in that deep pec. It's showing me so. His lumbar feels really good. He's already going to give me a good release there, so spine feels good, thoracic, lumbar. So junction, iliacus. He's got a little spot there. So he's definitely giving me some good blinking, and so this is his sore side that he's always short stepping with. So he's definitely not engaging or leaving this one on the ground as long as he's the right hind. So yeah, he's got some tight spots in here. Bicep, belly up, bicep. He's got some spots there, so we'll go ahead and work over that as we work on him. Semitendinosus, membranosus. I mean, there's a lot of good movement. He's got a lot of, his fascia all feels good. He's just got some tight spots. It feels good, but the stress points aren't horrible the way they were weeks ago, but it's definitely needing some more attention. So TFL, definitely tensor, fasciolata. Go ahead and go over his abductors. So he's definitely giving me some blinking, and nothing like he's absolutely sore. Usually when he's sore in the hock, like he normally gets sore up through here into this stifle. So yeah, he's definitely got a little bit going there. fastest and is a good boy. So belly of bicep, he's got a spot there. So his psoas is something that I've kind of been studying up on and watching a lot of. And I do believe that that is definitely something that bothers him on this side. The more I've read and studied about the muscle and just the hamstrings and just the way that it makes the horse move and work. And it's hard because you can't really get into it unless you're, up working. But it's underneath everything, and it's a muscle that has a big job. So I definitely think the psoas muscle is something that bothers this guy. So I'll go ahead and go down the other side now. I'll start up here at his neck again. So Wing of Atlas has definitely got a spot here. He definitely enjoys it. He just instantly starts shutting his eyes, and so. But as far as his distance and spacing, it's pretty even on either side. So, yeah, he's got just some soreness up under, some spots here. So probably vertebrae 4 and 5. This feels a little more prominent on this side than it did the other. So I feel like a lot of the load from his hind left is taken up here. You can see that his scapula on this side, down through his deltoids, down through, it's quite a difference compared to the other side. He's definitely taking more workload here to make up for that hind left, which he's done for years. He is 12 years old, and as far as injury goes, I bet we've been treating him probably since he was 4, when he really started kind of learning the barrel pattern and doing some of those more competitive things. Probably 5-year-old year, we injected, and it's just kind of been a maintenance since then. But deltoid down into this omnoid, definitely, you can see there's just more soreness there. It's more prominent. It feels just bigger and tighter. So that is something that we struggle with on this guy. He just, all of his muscles through here, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, trapezius, rhomboid. This is really a sore spot for him up through here. Brachio. He's just tight all the way through. His omnoid is definitely more prominent here than it is on his front right. So for him, he's just very unbalanced as far as the workload all being taken here, which then illuminates down into his legs and his feet and causes so many other problems. One thing this horse does when we ask him to pick up into a canter or up into a lope, he always has to really pick himself up and then go. He can't just get underneath and go, because it's like he's taking the weight on this front right, and so he's trying to get motivation to go instead of driving underneath, lifting himself up and going. So that is something also in the riding pen when we are riding him, that he's done that for many years. So definitely lots of issues through here. Yeah, see, he's definitely got some stress points here through this upper and lower tri. Some spots there in his pec, a little superficial and deep. If you want to come right up here. Yeah, everything is just tighter here. Longissimus, he's definitely longissimus, spinalis, dorsey, I mean all of, he almost feels like a different horse on this right front compared to his left front. Latissimus, he definitely, it's a little more, definitely got some soreness going there. He's got a stress spot right through here. Serrated down through latissimus. I mean, this all feels. Coastal. Yeah, he's definitely like palpating a different horse on this side, which is hard for him. Weeks. Yeah. So as far as his lumbar goes, I mean, that feels good. It's the muscles around that are struggling. The boy should.
Quit it.
Little spot there, giving me some blinks. Just have that look like he's a little still through those intercostals, so we'll definitely address that. Junction area, glute. Good release there. He is a well-built horse for being so narrow base. Like his back end is very square. And considering what he's been dealt, he carries himself pretty well. But he is taking most of the weight on that front leg. He has a little soreness in that sacrum there, so. And I'd have thought I'd have seen more of a reaction in his tail, but he didn't show me that, so. semitendinosus. Seems to be good there. Bicep on the other side was pretty sore. So definitely a little soreness there. Belly of bicep. Boy. Tensor fasciae lata. Adductor. He just really enjoys his adductor and massaging down through the inside of this leg. He really enjoys it. So yeah, he's got some spots there. Boy. So we'll definitely give some attention here through his hind end and down. Got a little stress point there in his extensor. May have a little fluid buildup in this hock joint. No real heat, but it just feels a little more puffy in that joint than I would like to feel. So flexor, gastroc, that all feels good. So iliacus, that's good. Check his tail one more time. Yeah. So to me, he's saying he's got a little bit of soreness in that sacrum, but when I lift his tail, he does really well that way. So definitely taking more weight in that front right as far as scapula. It is definitely more developed on that right side than the left. And he is definitely showing signs through tricep and pec. So we'll go ahead and work through his neck and through his body and do some stretching and see what we can do for him today. So thank you.